Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with our first prep at home assignment. To complete this assignment successfully, you are going to need your HMH close reader. You are also going to need a pen that writes in either blue or black ink. I like glitter a lot, but I don't want to see it on your pages, please. Finally, you are going to need a fantastic, stupendous attitude. All right, rules. The first one is please pause, rewind, and replay as frequently as you need to. The next one is follow my directions. Don't make up your own thing. Please do what I'm asking you to do. Next, in the comment section, please don't refer to any students by their first and last name. And finally, if you'd like to leave a comment, that's fine. But if you have a question, please email me through Focus. Let's take a look at these standards. We're going to cover standards 1, 3, and 4, all literature in this story. Here is standard 1 for your viewing pleasure. And next, standard 3, again for your viewing pleasure. Pause if you need to. But let's take a look at standard 3's scale. Remember, standard 1 is incorporated into all of our scales. Please pause and make sure that you understand what it is that you'll be doing. We'll be focusing on level 2, of course. This is standard 4, and of course the scale is coming up as well. I will give you specific instructions in class on how I want you to handle the page beneath each of these scales. All right, let's get started with our prep. Pull out your close reader. So I want you to check a couple of things with your close reader. Make sure that you have a piece of tape that matches your class's duct tape type on the side. Make sure that your full name is on the long end of the book, and then on each short end of the book, either just your last name, just your first name, your initials, whatever it is that you'd like for it to say. Oh, look at that. I put my full name on two sides of the book because I'm awesome. Quick reminder, we are prepping at home so that we can work in class with Miss Robinson's supervision. Here we go. Please turn to page 2. Next to where it says short story, big things come in small packages, I want you to write the standards that we're using. RL1, RL3, RL4. This is so that we will remember to go to our scales section, either our folder or our spiral, to update the assignment list beneath each of these scales. Remember, standard 1 doesn't have a scale because it's incorporated into every other scale. But we will be using this assignment to practice standards 1, 3, and 4, all literature. Now, let's set up page 3. This is going to take a second. The very first thing I want you to do is write the purpose at the top. The purpose is notice elements of the story, period. When does the conflict in the story start? Question mark. Next, create a key. At the bottom, you will duplicate what I have here. So your first symbol is a colon, and that meaning is pause for vocabulary. The next symbol is an underline. That meaning is pause to answer a question. Now, we have both a question and a vocabulary term on this page. Put a colon next to the word ocean, underline beneath the word terminal, and put a box, a check box next to each bullet in number 1. Again, pause if you need to. Take a look at number 4, page 4, excuse me. Put a colon next to surface. On page 5, you are going to put a colon after M, right? So next to disturbed, just take a look at my page. You are going to draw a line beneath you're not supposed to be. Write a reminder to go back to question 1 and answer it fully. put a box around each bullet point in number 3. Underline create suspense. Underline inference. Again, pause if you need to. Again, pause if you need to. All right, let's take a look at page 6. We only have 1 colon here. It's after too short, so take a look at where it says qualifications. Look at the paragraph to the right. After and too short, put a colon. On page 7, we are going to draw a line beneath afternoon. He thought over what Richard had said. Write a reminder to go back to number 3 and check each box, meaning answer each portion of that question. Also underline the word significance on number 4. For number 5, put a box for each bullet point. On page 8, we don't have anything to write, which is kind of nice. On page 9, however, we do. So beneath, he gave Tucker $100 right on the spot. I want you to underline that. I want you to go back, write a reminder to go back to number 5. Make sure that you've done all of the things that number 5 is asking you to do. Do it at that point. On number 6, I want you to underline foreshadow. On number 7, I want you to put a box around each of those bullet points so that as you complete them, you can check them off. On page 10, we don't have anything to mark. Kind of nice. On page 11, however, beneath where it says talking to and swimming with a ghost, underline that. Write a reminder to go back to number 7. For number 8, a box around each bullet point. Finally, on page 12, at the end of the story, you are going to draw a line and a reminder to yourself to go back to number 8. That's all we have for our prep. Please be sure to rewind, pause, rewatch as necessary. Okay, you are going to encounter each of these terms somehow in the story. You should have learned them in 6th grade, but if you did not, please click each one. I will put a link to a really cool video that will help you either refresh your memory or learn the terms. If you have any questions, email me on Focus. And finally, click here to see today's view of awesomeness. Have a great one. Bye. I put this here because I am an unapologetic nerd who likes corny things. But that wasn't so hard, was it? Of course not. Remember, prep at home, work in class.